Okay guys, I'm here today with Sebastian Brosche. Huge honor for me. We're both sitting here in this position because Sebastian is gonna show us 3 moves that we could be doing in Jiu-Jitsu while we are sitting on the mat like this, between rounds or before the class or after the class. So instead of just sitting on the mat with your back on the wall, you could be doing 3 moves. And guys, Sebastian is well known as the yoga for BJJ. And he was also the very first European to win double gold in the world on IBJJF. And it's very interesting because he reached the peak of his career and then he had to pretty much like stop doing jiu-jitsu because his body was all broken. And that's when he started doing yoga. And this was back in 2010. And now he's probably like the best yoga for BJJ instructor out there. So thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me so much. The honor is all mine. So I took this as an example because one prevalent thing in today's society is the texting back. Like everybody's looking down texting. And when we come to jiu-jitsu, we keep doing the exact same. And it's not really helping anything. It's just making things worse, right? So instead of sitting here, which is it's relaxing, but it's not, we're not getting more flexible from it. So the first thing we can do is squatting. So we sit up, and I love using the wall because it's a nice support. So we can start like this, and then we ease down into a squat. Here, right? And this is a good stretch.
Yeah, I can feel.
Yeah, but you can still breathe.
Yeah.
And you could be watching the rounds and
while I'm stretching, I love it.
Yeah, yeah. So instead of doing this,
yeah, I think you can even go deeper.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you can always go deeper. The longer you stay here, your body adapts so quickly. So it's right. And if you support yourself with your forearms on your knees, you can even push the knees out a little bit. And
man, that's awesome.
Yeah, and your posture gets really nice too because you can push into the wall like this. So I would say like if a round is 3, 4, 5 minutes, your goal can be to sit in one pose for that. Like let's say over the course of 3 months, you get used to it, and then you can sit a whole. Like, and imagine when you were just here, and then you shake it out a little bit, and you go spar, and someone puts you in that same pose. You've been there for a full round already, so you're so perfectly set up for that.
No, I'm feeling like Mikey Musumeci here.
Yeah,
he sits like this on the airplane, kind of.
Yeah, I always sit in these poses, not just in between rounds, but on the bus everywhere, because you know
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So that's one. This is one of my favorites. Is wide knees and shoulders to the back. If I slide down more, it becomes a neck stretch. But you know, I tense up my butt a little bit and I tuck my butt under so that the stretch is on the front there. And if this is too much, if you can't breathe, you know it's too much if you can't really breathe well, then like this is true for every pose.
Yeah.
Most people try to be efficient and they do this one, they do this one, but they do both legs at the same time. Yeah. So instead of doing both legs, you do one leg.
Okay.
And you sit like this. And you do you do 2.5 minutes on this side, 2.5 minutes on the other side, and then you sink down into it.
Yeah.
And then you can chat with your friends and you can watch the sparring and do everything you normally do, but you also get some benefits. I love that efficiency.
Good.
Switching sides. And this is of course like when you're stretching your hips are big, strong, and stiff. So when you're stretching them, like when your knee gets into a weird position and you have that little bit of extra flexibility in your hips, your ACL won't pop. Like it's gonna it can be 1 millimeter difference between an injury and not, and you never know. So this is
you were saying that in your opinion, 4 of every 5 injuries could be avoided with a good warm up, right?
Yeah, 2 things. Like your body should be ready for it, and you have to make good choices. Good. If you check in with your body today and you feel like my old injury is bugging me a lot today, you're gonna if you had that conversation with your body, you're gonna make smarter choices and you're gonna tap in time and all that. So that's why I believe that almost all injuries can be prevented if you do a good warm up and if you're doing smart choices. Yeah. And then another thing we can do is instead of doing this one, because this is usually what happens when people do this one, they don't do a stretch, they do a core. This is a core exercise. Okay. Because I'm back here and I have to use my core to sit up. Like go back a little bit, like it might be a little bit worse. Yeah. This is not stretching anything. It's just like
Got it.
I'm just barely making it.
Yeah.
So instead of doing it this way, we do the exact same pose in another orientation.
Okay.
Same pose, just now gravity is not hurting us, it's helping us.
Got it.
Yeah, you put your butt to the wall and then use the ground to push away a little bit. And then I don't like static poses. I like doing it like this, arms to the side, arms to the other side. And then instead of doing both legs at the same time, let's go bend one. Walk your feet closer so that you can bend one and sit in a squat on one leg. And then the other side. In the beginning it will take, you will start sweating because you're not used to this. But after a while it becomes completely effortless and you can do like 500 reps in 10 minutes without, you know, you don't have to sit next to the wall if it's limiting you, only if it's helping you.
Got it.
And then after I did a bit dynamic, I can stop and suddenly I can go a lot deeper than I did before. Like if you inhale here, inhale, and then exhale, like, yeah, do it again. Inhale, lift up, exhale, fold. Nice, and then you have small little adjustments that you try to keep your feet a little bit more square off, and you lift the inside. These things can really help too. But if you feel it in the outside of the hip, don't push further because you're not going to get flexible there. It's only if you feel it on the inside. So these small things make a big difference. But it's a whole education. Like we're so, like, as a general, like, jiu-jitsu is at such a high level. Thanks to you guys, jiu-jitsu is at such a high level.
I appreciate it.
But when you buy a DVD from BJJ Fanatics, honestly, half of the techniques in the DVD, I'm not going to do them. Why? Not because it's bad techniques, because I don't have a good enough understanding of my body to do these complex moves, or I'm too limited in my mobility and flexibility.
Got it.
So doing this will unlock 50% more of the things that you want to do, just by being able to not being limited by yourself. And the trick is to get it in between rounds, before and after, in the morning, the evening, just 5-10 minutes here and there.
Yeah, so how often and for how long you would advise someone who's just starting? You already told me that earlier, but just
10 minutes a day.
10 minutes a day.
10 minutes a day, start there. If you can't do 10 minutes...
And it has to be 10 minutes straight, or can you break that out in like 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night? And
I think the consistency is much more important than the length.
Got it.
So if it's much better to do 10 minutes 6 times over the course of a week than to do one 60-minute session, because, you know, the consistency is really
so you think like spreading out during the day is better than doing just once?
Yes, because you create consistency.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's not like jiu-jitsu. We can't do 5 minutes of jiu-jitsu and then 5 minutes. We need one session.
Got it.
But this is different. This is not something that takes time away. It's something that gives you more time back.
Got it.
Yeah.
No, got it.
So do 10 minutes a day, and you have 4 windows. You have morning and evening.
Yep.
Like before bed or after you get out of bed,
Yep.
and before and after jiu-jitsu. Those are your best windows.
Okay.
Yeah, because then it makes sense. You stand up in the morning, you do a few moves, you do a little sequence.
No, and I love it how short it can be and how effective it can be. Because many times, like, go to the gym and do a workout for 1 hour. Sometimes that's tough. Like if kids work, other stuff. So, but 5 minutes, especially at home in the carpet or in the yoga mats or just like regular mats, I think everybody has like 5 and 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, and if you do like the one we did before this one for 5 minutes, your back will feel like, you know, it's 10 years younger just from doing one. And you don't need a warm-up to do yoga. Yoga is the warm-up. So it's accessible to you anywhere. Unless the floor and on ground is dirty, you can do it anywhere.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. No, that's incredible. Yeah, so guys, Sebastian just shot 3 instructions about yoga for BJJ. One about warm-ups and cooling down, right? One about guard, and one about kind of like guard passing, top gang. So how to use yoga to improve your guard, how to use yoga to improve your guard passing, and also how to use yoga as a warm-up and as a cooling down before and after the training. So make sure to check it out at bjjfanatics.com. Maybe by the time you're watching, it's already there. So make sure to go there and check.
And you guys asked me to do instructionals for people who either hate yoga or say that yoga is not for me.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, those are the people that need it the most, so let's focus on them. So if you're like, I never did yoga, I don't want to do yoga, yoga is not for me, well, let us convince you otherwise, because I guarantee you that you will feel amazing after you did those instructionals, and it will unlock you and make you believe in yourself and your jiu-jitsu so much more afterwards.
Guys, make sure to check it out. He is like the guy about yoga. So thanks so much, Sebastian. Appreciate it. Thank you.
In 2 years, I hope you will be the yoga guy.
There you go. Please help me out to grow my YouTube channel. Just click subscribe. And to watch more videos, just click under see more videos. I hope you enjoyed.
BJJFanatics.com. Use the promo code YouTubeFaria to get 10% off any instructional video. Improve your jiu-jitsu faster.